Sometimes when someone asks us for a favor, they come to us wrapped in vulnerability. Their voice might shake just enough to tug at our heartstrings, their words carefully chosen to sound sincere and desperate. And because vulnerability is so deeply human, so raw and real, it's almost impossible not to lean in, to want to help, to want to be the person who saves the day. But here's the catch. Vulnerability, while beautiful and essential, can also be a mask. Not every plea for help is what it seems. Sometimes vulnerability is used as a tool, a carefully constructed way to lower our guard, to invite us in, while quietly hiding an agenda that isn't about mutual care or respect. When vulnerability masks intention, it becomes a form of emotional camouflage. It's not about connection or honesty. It's about getting something, sometimes repeatedly, sometimes at our expense. This is where the challenge lies. Because vulnerability asks us to trust, it asks us to lean into discomfort and risk exposing our own imperfections by saying yes. But if we don't take a moment to look beneath the surface, if we don't listen deeply to the whole story, then we risk giving our time, energy, and love to people whose intentions may not honor our own worth. So the real courage is in learning how to discern genuine vulnerability from vulnerability used as a mask. It means recognizing that not all cries for help come from a place of mutual respect or honesty. And it means protecting ourselves, not by shutting down, but by leaning in with clear eyes and steady hearts, so that our generosity is sacred, not exploited. Want me to do the same for other points? Boundaries are often misunderstood. Some people think they're walls, cold, rigid, and isolating. But boundaries are not about shutting people out. Boundaries are about defining where you end and others begin. They are the sacred lines that protect your emotional, mental, and physical space. And most importantly, they protect your worth. When you say yes to every favor, every request, every demand, without pause, without consideration, you send a subtle but powerful message to yourself and to the world. My time, my energy, my feelings, they're not that important. And over time, that message chips away at your self-respect. It drains your spirit. It makes you believe that your needs are optional, secondary, or even inconvenient. But here's the truth. Your worth is inherent. It's not earned by how much you give or how many people you help. It's not measured by how many favors you say yes to. Your worth is your birthright. It exists simply because you exist. Boundaries are the daily acts of courage where you affirm this truth. When you say no to a request that feels heavy or unfair, you're saying yes to yourself. You're declaring that your time is valuable, your energy is precious, and your feelings deserve to be honored. Boundaries are a way of saying, I see you, but I also see me, and I matter. And the beauty is, boundaries don't just protect your worth, they teach others how to respect it. When you hold your limits with kindness and clarity, you invite others to do the same. You create space for relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding, not on exhaustion and resentment. So protecting your worth through boundaries isn't selfish. It's a radical act of self-love. It's an ongoing practice of saying, I am enough as I am, and I deserve to be treated that way. And the more you practice it, the more you reclaim your power, your peace, and your joy. When someone asks us for a favor, it's more than just a simple request. It's a window into who they are, their values, their respect for others, and the kind of relationship they want to build with us. Favor requests reveal character in a way that words alone often cannot. Think about it. What kinds of favors do people ask of you? Are they small, considerate asks that show awareness of your time and boundaries? Or do they come loaded with expectation, pressure, or even guilt? The nature of the favors someone requests can tell you a lot about how they view, not just as a person, but as a resource. If someone consistently asks for things that are draining, emotional labor without reciprocity, time that interrupts your own needs, or favors that put you in uncomfortable or compromising positions, it's a clear reflection of their character. It reveals a lack of respect for your boundaries and a one-sidedness in the relationship that can quietly erode your sense of self. Favors can also reveal entitlement. When someone assumes that you will drop everything, ignore your own needs, or always say yes, it's not just a favor they're asking for, it's a demand dressed up as a plea. That entitlement says, your boundaries don't matter. Your time is mine to take. And that, my friend, is a dangerous sign. But the beauty of recognizing this is that it gives you power. You begin to see favor requests not just as obligations, but as clues. Clues that help you understand the true nature of the people around you. Favor requests are like small tests of trust and respect. They ask, do you value me enough to respect my limits? Do you see me as a whole person or just someone to lean on when it's convenient? When you start to listen to these subtle messages, you develop a sharper sense of who deserves your time and energy and who doesn't. You learn that the people who truly care about you won't repeatedly ask for favors that cost you your peace. They won't guilt you into exhaustion or make you feel like saying no is a failure. Favor requests reveal character, yes, but they also reveal the quality of your relationships. And when you honor that truth, you can start to cultivate connections rooted in genuine care, respect, and mutual support. You choose relationships that lift you up, not ones that quietly wear you down. So next time someone asks you for a favor, pay attention, not just to the ask itself, but to what it reveals about their respect for you. Because in those moments, your boundaries are speaking louder than words, and your worth is waiting to be honored. There's a quiet voice inside you, soft, subtle, often drowned out by the noise of the world around you. That voice is your intuition. It's the deep knowing that doesn't always come with logical explanations or neat reasons. It's the feeling in your gut, the small knot of discomfort, the gentle whisper that says, something isn't right here. Too often we ignore this inner voice because it's inconvenient. We brush it off because we want to be kind, to avoid conflict, or because we doubt ourselves. But the truth is, your intuition is a powerful guide. It's your body and soul's way of protecting you, of signaling when something feels off before your mind has even had a chance to fully understand it. Listening to your intuition matters because it connects you to your authentic self. It's the part of you that isn't influenced by others' opinions, societal expectations, or the pressure to please. It's your truth, speaking quietly but persistently. And when you learn to trust that voice, you begin to move through the world with more clarity, more confidence, and more peace. Ignoring your intuition can leave you vulnerable to being taken advantage of or drawn into situations that drain you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That little voice inside is there to protect you, to warn you when a favor request, a relationship, or a decision isn't aligned with your values or your well-being. It's the first line of defense against people who might mask their true intentions or ask for more than you can give. But here's the thing, Trusting your intuition takes practice and courage. It means giving yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to really listen, especially when it's easier to say yes and move on. It means resisting the urge to justify or explain away that uneasy feeling. And sometimes it means standing firm even when others try to convince you that you're overreacting or being too sensitive. When you honor your intuition, you're honoring yourself. You're saying, I matter, my feelings matter, my inner wisdom is valid. That's a powerful act of self-respect. And it creates a foundation for healthier boundaries, stronger relationships, and a life that feels more aligned with who you truly are. So next time you feel that quiet tug inside, the hesitation, the doubt, the discomfort, don't dismiss it. Lean into it. Give it space to be heard. Ask yourself what it's trying to tell you. Because in that small, still voice lives your truest guide. A compass that, when followed, can lead you away from harm and toward a life of deeper connection and wholehearted living. True relationships, those deep, meaningful connections that nourish our souls, are built on reciprocity. Reciprocity means there is a beautiful balance, a give and take that honors both people involved. It's not about keeping score or tallying favors like debts, but about a natural flow where both hearts feel seen, valued, and supported. When we talk about reciprocal relationships, we're talking about something fundamental to human connection, the need to feel that we matter just as much as the person we're giving to. It's about knowing that when we stretch ourselves to help or be present, the other person will also show up for us, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care and respect. Unfortunately, not all relationships honor this truth. Sometimes we find ourselves in one-sided dynamics where we give more than we receive. We're the ones who answer late-night calls, who drop everything to help, who carry the emotional weight when the other person seems absent. And while we may start these relationships with open hearts and hopeful intentions, over time, that imbalance begins to wear us down. It chips away at our energy, our joy, and eventually our sense of self-worth. True reciprocity is different. It feels like a dance where both people move toward each other with intention and grace. When you give, there's a knowing that your kindness isn't a one-way street. When you share your vulnerability, the other person holds space for you to be seen and heard in return. It's the mutual commitment to show up, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's hard. Reciprocal relationships also allow space for imperfection. They don't demand constant giving or perfect responses. Instead, they rest in the trust that over time, support will ebb and flow naturally. There will be moments when one person needs more and other moments when the roles reverse. The key is that both people feel safe enough to express their needs honestly and believe those needs will be met with compassion. When we find these reciprocal connections, they become lifelines. They remind us that we're not alone in this messy, beautiful journey of being human. They restore our faith in generosity that isn't exploitative, and love that doesn't come with conditions. But recognizing whether a relationship is truly reciprocal requires courage. It asks us to look honestly at the ways we are giving and receiving. Are we constantly overextending ourselves to meet the other's needs while neglecting our own? Are we avoiding hard conversations for fear of losing the relationship? Or do we feel energized and uplifted after our interactions, knowing that our boundaries are respected and our hearts are held? Choosing reciprocity is a radical act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you deserve relationships that honor your worth as much as you honor others, And it's a commitment to showing up fully for others, not because you feel you have to, but because you want to, and trusting that they will do the same for you. In a world that often celebrates hustle, self-sacrifice, and overextension, reciprocal relationships are revolutionary. They are a testament to the power of balance, mutual respect, and genuine connection. And when we cultivate them, we create a foundation not just for surviving, but for thriving together. Saying no is one of the hardest things we do. It feels like a small word, but it carries a weight that can shake us to our core. Because when we say no, we risk disappointing others, facing judgment, or feeling like we're letting someone down. We worry about being seen as selfish, unkind, or unwilling to help. And yet, saying no is one of the most profound acts of love we can offer. Love for ourselves and ultimately for those around us. Courage to say no is an act of love because it honors your truth. It means that you recognize your limits, your needs, and your worth enough to protect them. Saying no is saying yes to yourself. It's an act of self-respect that says, I am worthy of care, kindness, and boundaries. It's a refusal to let your heart be stretched so thin that there's nothing left to give. It's a way of preserving your energy so you can show up authentically and fully rather than depleted and resentful. Love is often mistaken for relentless giving, for always saying yes, for putting others' needs before our own. But real love, true love, is not about sacrificing yourself. It's about balance. It's about recognizing that your well-being matters just as much as anyone else's. When you say no with courage, you create space for your own healing, growth, and joy. You make room to nurture yourself so that you can better nurture others. Saying no is also an act of love toward others. When you say yes when you want to say no, you're not showing up as your best self. You might give reluctantly, half-heartedly, or with a hidden resentment that can quietly erode relationships. But when you say no clearly and kindly, you build trust. You show others that honesty matters, that boundaries matter, and that respect matters. You teach them how to treat you, not through words alone, but through your action. So the courage to say no requires vulnerability. It means standing in your truth even when it's uncomfortable or when you fear rejection. It means accepting that some people might not understand, might push back, or might be hurt by your decision. And that's okay. Your responsibility is not to please everyone, but to honor yourself. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will see your no not as a rejection of them, but as a declaration of your self-love. This courage grows with practice. The more you say no when it's right for you, the stronger your voice becomes. The less fear you feel about disappointing others, the more you realize that your worth is not tied to your availability or your willingness to please. Saying no is a muscle, a practice of kindness to yourself that strengthens over time. And so if you're struggling to say no, remember this: saying no is not a failure. It's not unkind. It's not selfish. It is one of the bravest, most loving things you can do. It's a radical act of self-care and self-respect that lays the foundation for authentic, healthy relationships. It's the way you protect your heart and preserve your spirit in a world that often asks too much. In the end, courage to say no is courage to love yourself fully. And that love ripples outward, transforming not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. As we navigate the complexities of trust and connection, it's essential to remember that our time, energy, and heart are precious. The favors people ask of us are not just simple requests. They are reflections of their character and invitations to honor our own worth. When we listen to our intuition, set clear boundaries, and recognize the true nature of the relationships we nurture, we reclaim our power. Saying no with courage and kindness is not a closing of doors, but an opening, an act of profound love for ourselves and others. It creates space for authentic connections rooted in respect and reciprocity. It protects our spirit from being worn thin so we can show up as our fullest, most wholehearted selves. So never forget, trust is earned in the quiet moments when we choose to honor ourselves first. When we choose to say no, to listen deeply, and to protect our worth, we build lives and relationships that are not just surviving, but thriving. Your courage to protect your heart is the greatest gift you can give to the world. And in that courage, you become a beacon of strength, love, and truth.